we'll be working with one another algorithm. So the algorithm that we saw was every variable should derive a string. Okay, so which we saw in previous session. Okay, so today we are going to mainly consider in continuation to what we saw. So let us first recall one definition. Sentential form. Okay, and this would be one important definition that we would be requiring to be used. Now, how exactly we define this? It is any string derivable from start symbol. Fine. So like if I take the example where we really worked out in respect of, say, talking about derivation tree. Okay, so 1 minute. If let me see, yeah, or leftmost derivation or rightmost derivation, whatever it is. Okay, accordingly. So if you see whatever you see over here, okay, in each of these cases, this one as well as this one, each one would be called as sentential form. We don't care whether they are say terminals or non-terminals, anything. Okay, correct. So so whatever you are getting from start variable would be called a sentential form. Correct. So with this, we'll move further with respect to what we were supposed to understand in today's session. So we are defining one terminology called as a sentential form is form in which any string derived from star symbol is considered as a sentential form. Fine. Okay, so let us really think about how exactly we can go with it. So let me give theorem statement for every CFGG with Vn, sigma, p and s. So this will be remaining every time. Okay, we are going to make use of it every time. We can construct an equivalent grammar G dash with, now I'm assuming Vn would be the Vn would be again say different. Okay, then we may have our sigma dash changing. I will let you know on what basis. Our productions also would be changing and our start variable would remain same. Such that now, though I wrote here Vn, okay, so like for a while we will assume that it is only Vn, but we will try to see through the examples whether it is going to be Vn dash or Vn only. Vn union sigma dash. So we may write Vn dash even, but right now I'm assuming that I haven't written this Vn dash. So through that example, we'll see whether are we going to get it at all. Okay. So an equivalent grammar G dash Vn dash, okay, sigma dash p dash s such that, okay, let me write Vn dash. We will see what is to be done. Appears in some sentential form. Fine. So how exactly we are going to make sure that every symbol from set of variables and set of terminals, okay, would be appearing in sentential form. So let me give again this definition, what exactly we mean by sentential form. So if we see this whole derivation from start this. No, I'm not caring about now what is it, whether it is leftmost or rightmost, because we are not working with tree. Correct? So on that front, like whatever you are getting over here in every stage, this everything would be called as an sentential form. So we're here, which symbols are appearing in sentential form? A and capital B. Here A and capital B. Here A, B and capital B. Here A, B and capital S. Here A, B and capital B. Here A, B, capital S, and so on. Correct? So similarly in this case, A, B, then A, B, B, S. Correct? Similarly, if I move further, I would be getting A, B, B, S. A, B, B, B. Correct? Same case A, B, B, B. And in this case, I am getting only A, B. Fine. So my sentential form may change depending upon at what stage am I at. Fine. Okay. So now how to work out with this? We are going to follow the same strategy what we saw. Okay. In earlier algorithm. So we have to construct this Vn dash sigma dash p dash s. So first of all, let us construct Wi. Construct Wi for I greater than equal to, you can say 0 or 1. So I can think of 0. So every time with W0, I am going to take start variable. Correct? Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So first W would be always my start variable. Now in subsequent stages, so if I talk about Wi plus 1 now, it would be previous W union. I am going to add every symbol X which belongs to Vn union sigma. It could be variable, it could be terminal. Fine. Such that there exists a production A gives alpha with A belonging to previous W and alpha containing symbol X. So as we said, every symbol X belonging to Vn sigma, Vn and sigma together. If we see a production A gives alpha with A to be from previous W. So whatever right side we are getting, every such symbol, it could be terminal, it could be non-terminal. Everything would be added in your next W. Fine? Is that fine? So at one stage, as like we have Vn and sigma to be finite one. So what we are going to get? Wi equal to Wi plus 1. We can say, one can say in a vice versa, Wi plus 1 equal to Wi. So stop there. Now second thing. Now we have to construct these three from this set. So construction of Vn dash, sigma dash and p dash. How we do that? So Vn dash is equal to Vn intersection Wi. So what are the variables which are belonging to Wi would be added into Vn dash. So those who are not, which are not occurring in Wi, automatically they are deleted. That's why Vn dash is changing. Similarly, sigma dash is equal to sigma intersection Wi. Correct? Now p dash is equal to A gives alpha, where A comma alpha belonging to Wi star, or you can say Wi plus 1. So I'm assuming that I'm going to terminate my construction with this situation. So either Wi equal to Wi plus 1 or whatever, like vice versa, both of them would be true. Correct? Is that fine? Any question with this? Yes, please. Yes. Any query, question? So let me add this into your chat. So understood the procedure? What is to be done? As usual, we'll start constructing W's. So first W would be our start variable. Then subsequently, we are going to add element X belonging to, it could be variable, it could be terminal, such that there is a production A gives alpha with A belonging to previous W, and alpha is containing symbol X. So every such symbol X would be added into next W. Okay, now we will stop this. We will terminate this process of construction of W whenever we get Wi equal to Wi plus 1 or vice versa. Wi plus 1 equal to Wi, whatever. Now second stage would be what? You have to construct these three: Vn dash, sigma dash, and P dash. How do you construct it? Vn dash equal to what? Vn in intersection Wi. So every variable which is occurring in Wi would be picked. Similarly, sigma dash would be sigma intersection Wi. Correct? Now your P dash would be A gives alpha such that A and alpha belonging to Wi star. So if you see a symbol which is not there in Wi, so that production would not be picked. Whether it is occurring to left or right, we are not going to pick any such production in the grammar. Is that fine? Is that okay? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now let us take this example which we talked in the previous session. So what we did was we said that every variable should give you terminal string. This was our first theorem. So this was the grammar given. So we could successfully remove this, correct, because C is not giving you terminal. That's why we deleted this. But one may see here, like if I see S gives A gives A, B gives B, and E gives C. One can say that this E gives C is not occurring at all in the derivation. Correct. So whether it is part of sigma or even Vn will not matter. So better delete this. And that's what we are going to do now in this example. Okay. So let me take one example. So I will take it here only. So we are given grammar example. Consider G equal to S A B E. I will take the same example which we saw in the earlier case. Only thing I am taking the grammar which was derived one. Okay, then there is a production set and there is a start variable. You can see that like with this case, what I could see is S gives A gives A, B gives B, E gives C. So which are the variable S, A, B, and E? That's what I wrote here. Okay, in my example, I took S, A, B, E. Similarly, this is my production set. So sigma is containing small a, small b, and small c. So that's what I took: small a, small b, small c, and this is our production set. Okay, so where P contains S gives A gives A, B gives B, and E gives C. Fine. Okay, now let us start constructing. So first stage for solution would be what? Wi. So let us construct W0. What would be W0 as per this theorem? What would be W0 as per this theorem?
Yes.
Yes, very good. So what would be W1? You have S union. You are going to add every symbol X, okay, which is occurring to right side with alpha. So which is the production for S? S gives
A,
AB.
B.
Correct. So you will be adding A and B only. Why A and B only? Why we haven't added small a, small b? Because currently small a, small b is not produced by S. That's why. So what would be W1 in this case? S, A and B. Is that fine? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What would be W2? S, A and B. Now union. Now we already addressed S. Now let us concentrate on production for A. Which is the production for A?
Small a.
Okay, so let us add it here. Which is production for B?
Small b.
Very good. So what would be your W2? S, A, B, A, B. Correct? So what would be W3? S, A, B, A, B. Anything remaining there? For S, A and B? Because small a, small b will not have any production as per context free grammar. Because context free grammar contains left side to be always a single variable. So this would be 5. Correct? So that's the reason you are going to get W3 equal to W2. Or W2 equal to W3. So you have W now. So this W contains what? S, A, B, A, B. Am I right? Correct? What would be Vn dash now? Your Vn is SABE, intersection SABAB. What would be Vn dash? Yes, what would be Vn dash?
Yes, A, B.
Only, correct? S, A and B. What would be sigma dash? Sigma intersection Wi. So this is W. So you can say W2. What it would be?
Small a, small b.
Very good. What would be production set now? We are going to add every production A gives alpha, where A and alpha belongs to Wi star. So what would be the P dash? So SAB, is it occurring here in your W? Yes. So let us write it. Correct. A gives A. A and A belonging here. So that's why A gives A is added. B gives B. B and B are occurring here. So that's why B gives B. E gives C. None of them is occurring. So that's why our construction is done. So this is your grammar. Is that fine now? Is that okay?
Yes.
Correct. So let me add this example in your chat. Any query question for this example or about this example? So this is for theorem number 2. This example is for theorem number 2, which we are seeing now. Okay, for sentential form. Is that fine? Now we saw 2 algorithms. Which were they? Can somebody repeat? Which were the algorithms? Which were they? First was every variable should give you terminal, and second was every symbol should occur in sentential form. Now you apply them in the same order. First theorem number 1, now theorem number 2. So ultimately you get a reduced grammar. Fine? Are you with me? So let us
Yes.
give numbers to those theorems. First theorem was theorem number 1 and this was theorem number 2. Fine. So let me define now. Okay, this one was your okay, yeah, this one was your theorem number 1. Okay, so let me give number to this. So this is number 1. Fine. Okay, where we talked about how we constructed W. We constructed W by adding symbols like A, where there is a production A gives W and W belongs to sigma star, small w. Correct. So if it is giving you terminal, then you keep adding them into W. Then you try to see which of them are occurring to right side. Correct. That's what we said. Alpha belongs to sigma union W star, and then you are going to stop again with W to be equivalent, and production set would be A should belong to Vn dash and alpha should belong to Vn dash union sigma star. This was theorem number 1, and then we saw theorem number 2. So this was your theorem number 2. Fine. Okay. So let us see like how exactly we can add or we can work out with the reduced grammar. So I'm taking sub theorem, okay, which is considering this. So let me add it. Yeah. So for every CFGG there exists a reduced grammar G dash equivalent to G. Now how we apply? So we have been given grammar G. Suppose so theorem 1 would step 1 would be what? Construct G1 equivalent to G such that every variable in G1 derives some terminal string. So this is theorem number 1. Correct. Now step 2.
Sir, can you move the page a little left
Oh,
side?
sorry. Yeah. So construct G1 equivalent to G such that every variable in G1 derives some terminal string. This is theorem number 1. Correct. Now construct G dash equivalent to G1 such that every symbol from Vn dash and sigma dash appears in sentential form. Now what exactly it means? So this is grammar G given to you, Vn sigma ps. So you are going to get G1, okay, which is equivalent such that Vn dash sigma p dash s. Correct. So like instead of Vn dash, I will say Vn1 p1. Okay, so as to differentiate. Correct. Now from G you are going to get this, and from G1 you are going to get G dash such that Vn dash so output of input will be taken as this, output would be G1. Now it would be taken as input and you are going to construct G dash. So Vn dash, sigma dash, P dash and yes, your start variable will remain same. Correct? Am I right? Now, do you think if suppose S doesn't occur in sentential form, will this occur anytime? No, because yeah, we are starting with S only. Correct? Correct? And like even with respect to our theorem number 1, so we started with what? S should be giving terminal. And if you recall, our statement was containing LG not equal to 5. So if S is not giving you terminal at all, if S doesn't occur here, no need to go to step number 2 like this. So if suppose this S is doesn't occur here in Vn1, so ultimately no need to go to this and you directly can terminate it. So whenever we are talking about equivalence, you have to make sure that the language stands same or remains same. Fine. So this is the problem statement. Like you will be asked, you will be given a grammar, construct a reduced grammar for given grammar G. So you are going to apply these 2 steps. Fine. Is that fine? Let me add this third one. So you can see in chat window, I have added the image. Okay, now let us work with one example and we will solve side by side. Fine. Okay, take a pen and pencil, pen and page, and we are going to work with. So we know now what is to be done. Fine. So first step would be theorem number 1 and second step would be theorem number 2. Fine. Okay. So problem statement. Find reduced grammar equivalent to grammar G with productions as gives AB, CA, B gives BC, AB, A gives A, C gives AB, B. Is that fine? Okay, now let us apply theorem number 1. So what theorem number 1 said? Like first step now. So construct. So we are talking here. Construct W. Now W0 would be you are going to add every variable which is giving you terminal, direct terminal. Which of them are giving you direct terminals?
S and B.
Carefully see. We are talking about which of them are giving you direct terminal.
Yes, B and C.
No, right now, direct. Recall, we added yes later stage. We are going to add like see, recall your first step. First step was this. You are going to add every variable A such that there is a production A gives W and W belongs to sigma star. So there should not be any variable to right side here. Okay. So you are having A gives A and C gives B. Correct? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you are going to add A and C. Reason behind? A gives A and C gives B. Correct? Fine. W2. Sorry, W1. So your A and C are occurring to right side. Union. Now try to see whether they are occurring to right side of either of the production. Which variable production is containing A and C towards right side? In whatever the order.
S.
Yes.
Because S is giving you CA, correct? Fine. So you will add here S. So reason behind S gives CA. Now W2. What would be W2? SAC. Now do you have anything occurring to right side with this combination? No, correct? So that's why 5. So you got this. Now what would be Vn dash? Vn first Vn for your grammar would be what? Vn1. So what would be this? SAC. Correct? Am I right? So what would be P1? Sigma would be same right now. Sigma would be same. What would be P? Now you are going to add only these productions. Okay. And their terminals. Productions for this and only these variables occurring to right side. So we will be having S gives CA, A gives A, and C gives B. Correct? Is that fine? Now theorem number 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Now if you see here, what would be next stage? We have to now we constructed W, we constructed Vn P1, and everything is fine now. Yes, and A, yes, and sigma would be same. So now again theorem number 2, construct W. What would be W0 for this grammar? In theorem 2, we start with start variable, correct? Is that fine? So W1 would be what? S. And whatever is occurring to right side of S. What is occurring to right side of S in this grammar?
A and C.
Wait. A and C. Sorry, this is capital C. So you have S, A, and C. What would be W2? S, A, C. Union. Now try to see what is there any other thing for A and B? For A we have A and for C we have B. So that's why we will add them. So we got S, A, C, A and B. Is that fine? W3 as everything is done. So W3 equal to W2. Correct? So now let us talk about final grammar G dash. Variable set will remain same. S, A, C. Sigma would be AB. P dash would be S gives CA, A gives A, C gives B, and your start variable. Sorry. So this would
Sir,
be your
it's not possible.
correct, because if you take intersection of variable, earlier variable set and this one, you have SAC only, correct? And similarly AB and this production set. So this would be your solution. But now you will see, like in this example, we never required to apply theorem 2. Even if we applied it, we are getting the same grammar as theorem 1, correct? So I will take a bit different example where you will require both the theorems applied correctly. So let me copy first this. cut this. Yes. Okay, now this is solution for your first problem. So let us take a bigger problem now where you will require both the theorems. Fine. So side by side solve it, or you help me out for every step. Fine. Okay. So let me take the grammar. Let me take a grammar. Construct a reduced grammar. Construct for G with productions as gives 0 A0. Then okay, let me take A such that it would be S1. Okay, then 1 CC. Okay, D0 A. C gives 0 1 1. DD. A gives 0 C and D gives 0 DA. Yeah. So this is the problem statement. So we have to apply theorem 1 here. We'll apply theorem 1 here and we'll apply theorem 2 here. So theorem 1. So first theorem is what? You have to see that every variable gives you terminal. So let us start with W0. So I'm talking about 1 now. What would be W0 here? Which of them are giving us directly terminals? Terminal means terminal string.
C.
Only C, correct? Right now. What would be W1? C union. Try to see that variable from previous W is occurring with terminals to right side of some production.
A and E.
Yes, here as well as here, correct? So that A and E can be added. You got this. So this would be what? A, C, E. W2. A, C, E. Now try to see whether are you getting any of them to right side of some production together.
S.
Together or singly? Only yes? Only yes? Yes. So you got S, A, C, E. Now you will find that now you are not going to have any other variable here. So that's why this would be W. So what would be your variable set? Vn1 would be S, A, C, E. And you are going to take only productions to which these are occurring in right side. Okay, only these variables along with terminals. So your production set would be what? P1 would be what? Now tell me P1 would be what? Why I terminated this construction? Because I am not never going to get D, because D is the only one which is remaining here, correct? I never would be getting this. I know that. That's why I terminated it. Okay, what would be P1? This gives 0A0. A gives S1, 1CC. Okay. I cannot take D0A. Why? D is not part of this. So C gives 0, 1, 1. I cannot take DD. So EAC is here. So that's why I have to add E gives AC. And I cannot take this D. So that's why this is done. So this is my production set. Correct? Now I have to apply theorem number 2. So let me apply it here. Okay, let me write it here. Theorem number 2. What would be theorem number 2 now? What would be W0?
S.
So I'm going to consider this production set now. Huh? Yes. What would be W1?
S.
S, A and 0. Sorry, here. S, A and 0. So S is already there. So A and 0. Correct? So what would be W2? S, A, 0 union. What is occurring to A side? Right side of A?
1 and C.
S is already there, correct? So 1 and C. So 1, C. So W3. S, A, C, 0, 1 union. Do we have anything remaining? No. Correct? Is there any production? C already have 0 and 1. A already is covered. S already is covered. So this would be 5. Am I right? Yes. Okay. What would be now? Here sigma would remain same, na? Your sigma 1 would be same. So yes would be yes. So what would be Vn dash now? This Vn and this W take intersection. What it would be? SAC. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
What would be sigma dash? 0, 1. Luckily we got same. Correct? What would be P dash? Only take productions for this and only variables occurring to right side of this. So S gives 0A 0. A gives S1 1cc and C gives 0 1 1. So this would be your production set. Done. So this is what your final solution is. Is that okay? Understood? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this will be your, so final solution is what? So let me write final solution. Final solution is you have Vn dash is equal to S, A and C. Sigma dash equal to 0 1. Okay, and P dash is equal to S gives 0A 0. A gives S1 or 1cc and comma C gives 0 1 1. Fine. Okay, so this would be your final solution. So shall I give you one more example so that you can practice? Okay, let us take one example so that we can practice. So I'm adding this solution for a while on your chat. Okay, so let us take one example. So I have added this problem, so not too much worry about. So construct reduce grammar for G with productions as gives A, B, A, C. B gives AD. B, A, S. A gives AS. So ACB C gives B. And D gives ESA. Solve this one. Okay, I am adding on Moodle. So when you are done, you have to upload it there. This is your problem statement. Try to solve it. Now I am there till 10 more minutes. So you can solve this. Okay. And if you have any queries, you can ask me. So this is classwork for you for today. So when you are done, you can add it ultimately on Moodle as well as in personal WhatsApp. So if you have any question, so you can ask me anytime. Fine. So solve this. This is your problem statement. Okay. So I have added this problem. Solve this. Start.